Hi friends, happy Thanksgiving. This is going to be your daily read for November 22nd. Such an amazing day. I hope you all are having just a great one full of love and gratitude and family and friends. There's so much going on today. I can't imagine anyone not just being swept up by it all. So obviously we have our Thanksgiving celebrations. I'm sure we all have different traditions and things that we're doing today. Um, in terms of, tarot and astrology and all these wonderful blessings, also still a lot going on. So we are in the just beginning Sagittarius season, and we also have the full moon going on today. We have full moon in Gemini, which I think is actually wonderful. Gemini is this wonderful, real chatty, fun-loving, whimsical, real charismatic energy. And then being in this moon, and obviously this will play out a little differently depending where Gemini is in your chart. Is kind of where this will show up. But generally, with this full moon being in Gemini, I just expect like really fun, enjoyable connections and conversations. These could be with new people, these could be with family. But I feel like these conversations. Sorry, I had a little hair in my mouth. These conversations are going to be something that really means something special and something uplifting to us. The moon a lot of times represents our soul, so we're having these fun, wonderful, you know, conversations that are probably going to be a little intimate to us. It's going to be on topics and things that are really important, or whatever is said hits us in a really profound way, which I think is beautiful. And the full moon in general just always speaks to endings, which in turn lead to new beginnings. But this full moon is a lot about releasing. So I think there's some really beautiful healing that can happen and will happen because of this new moon. And it all could start today. We're surrounded with loved ones. We're surrounded by family. Especially if you're, around my age, you're probably surrounded with a lot of family members who, are a little older, a little more experienced, and have some really awesome wisdom to share with you. So I think these conversations that come up, like I said, offer some really amazing healing and some deeper insight into either something we've been working on, actually probably something we've been working on, and trying to help evolve in some situation that we're trying to move through and grow. And that will happen for sure. Tons of amazing, and then there's also really cool things happening this week in astrology. I think we have, is it today? No, I don't think it's today. I think it happened already. I know there was like a T square that brought a bit of challenge, but also this great push, this great drive, this awesome motivation to really get off our butts and get some things done, and take care of some loose ends that we've kind of been sitting on. Lots going on this week, and lots of positive shifts. Maybe not the most comfortable, but positive. With that said, let's get into today's reading. Just wanted to give a little highlight to that. Our rune today is Dagaz. Again, probably saying that wrong. But I think this is such an appropriate rune for today, what's going on this week. I'm kind of excited what cards pop up with this guy. But Dagaz is the rune of awakening. And it's literally what that sounds like. This is the rune. It pretty much marks new beginnings and new beginnings that will lead to success. A lot of times it speaks to like starting a new course of study. If you're learning something new, if you're trying to pick up a new skill and study it, if you're starting a new career, all these new beginnings kind of are encompassed in this awakening, and it's because of this awakening, which is why there's always success. There's some type of calling. There's some type of purpose in this task, in this fresh start. The awakening can also do with getting over any type of addiction or bad habit or fear or phobia, anything like that. We can also be moving beyond these limitations. So just amazing fresh starts, fresh new beginnings, just in general with this card. And timing is super appropriate with Sagittarius and planning out the next steps. So I think this is beautiful. Just because today seemed really powerful astrologically, I'm using our Black Moon Oracle deck. love this deck because of how it like speaks and the wording behind it and how powerful its messages are. I haven't found how I like want to use them. Like, I haven't created my own system for them outside of just pulling and kind of interpreting the cards. Usually, eventually, as I work with a deck, I kind of develop a system for each and how best to use them. This one I haven't found that yet. But it always delivers the most amazing messages. So let's see what it has to say about this new moon in Gemini. One thing I will say, if you're considering getting this deck, or if you have it already and you know are kind of trying to find the way you like to use it, I find one card pulls don't really work very well. I kind of take it like reading astrology. Like, a single planet doesn't mean much until you get some aspects and see what house it's in. So I find multiple cards work a little bit better. You know, actually, I'm going to take this one too. Yeah, 4 is a good way to start. Oh, appropriate. So we've got third house. I say that's appropriate because we were talking about the moon in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. The third house, also ruled by Mercury. So quite appropriate. Also ruled by Gemini, if you think about it. So definitely messages. So receiving signs. This could be signs, but honestly, I think this is the communications. These are the talks we're having and sharing with those around us who support us and really want to lift us up. And we also have Taurus. Oh, appropriate pair. So we got Taurus and Venus. So for those of you in the know, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So definitely energy that has to do with comfort and feeling good. You have Venus here, which is all about love, beauty, the arts. So again, things that provide comfort and joy and happiness and pleasure. Taurus has the energy, so even on the card you can see it has the energy of I have. So it's usually about, not that they're necessarily possessive. I mean, Tauruses can be and probably are for a bit, but it's because they enjoy whatever brings them joy. That's where they find value. So they're usually, you know, a collector of fine things and beautiful things, and they just want to be surrounded by this elegance and beauty and wonder, which is amazing energy. And I think that's what these messages are getting us to. It's bringing us closer to love. It's bringing us closer to what we would define as beauty, what we see as having value. And to get there, we undergo some type of transformation. We have Pluto here, the planet of transformation. So again, even more beautiful. I think this is really linked to that healing I was talking about. As we start to shift and move out of, you know, either places of fear or feelings of pain. As we shift from that, we raise our vibration, which again pulls in more of these beautiful, wonderful energies, which is exactly what we want. And it's all linked to these communications, these conversations we're going to be having today, tomorrow, the next coming days, who knows. But I definitely think things are starting to perk up now, which is beautiful. Hey, you wanted to come out right away. Didn't even get to say anything and they're jumping out. Do I feel these? No. Okay. First card that left out was the Magician, Alchemist in this deck. This is the Illuminati Tarot. So amazing energy. So again, it's that master of the elements, master of the universe. You're shaping reality to your whims and your wishes. Okay. So we talked about yesterday, what is it we want to create? So, Magician, Master, followed by 2 kings. King of Wands, King of Swords. So again, we got the King of Swords yesterday along with the Alchemist. So planning, strategizing, logical thinking. So what is it we're creating? What is it we want for our future, for these next steps. What is it? It's the things that you desire most, the things you're passionate about, the things that feed you on a soul level, like something that truly motivates you. That is beautiful. This again, lots of fire energy, so we're in Sagittarius season, so it could totally be a thing. If these are people coming to your life, could be an air sign or a fire sign, so air being Gemini. Hello. Gemini full moon. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Fire being Aries, Sag, and Leo. But again, so still talking about all that creative energy. Oh, who flipped? I saw you. I saw you. There you are. Oh, of course. Alright. Ah, I like this. So, we've got the Wheel of Fortune here. So fate starting to turn in our favor. The Wheel of Fate turning, changing, shifting. As one thing comes up, one thing comes down. So the first thing I see when I look at these, so these individually beautiful, powerful cards. You have the Hermit, which is a major arcana that has to do with, a lot of times it's kind of being alone, so having a private space where you can connect with your intuition, go inside. I always think of like this as connecting to spirit guides, ancestors, angels, spirit, however that meditative process works for you and how you like to communicate. And then you also have the Nine of Pentacles, which is again another independent energy. This is think of Beyonce and the independent woman. That is the Nine of Pentacles, someone who provides for herself, and again, I say herself because it's a woman on the card, but again, this could be any gender. But this is someone who built herself, doesn't need to rely on anyone, has everything she needs, and is strong and solid and literally independent. I see these two energies really speaking to the individual and being strong within yourself, but coming after the Wheel of Fate, I feel like that's what's changing. During this transition, I want to say probably since Libra season, if not earlier, for a majority of us, this is what we've been doing. This is what we've been working on ourselves and making ourselves stronger, and really getting to the core of who are we? Not necessarily what we want, that's what we're doing now, but who are we is what we've been defining and strengthening and really building confidence in. And I think now that the wheel is starting to turn, we're starting to shift away from that, which is also great because now we're connecting with this new moon. We're having conversations with other people probably about who we are and how we've evolved and how we've changed and what our, new desires are, and we're probably going to get some insight on how we can make that happen from people who have either done it before, have maybe the proper connections to get us to that point. And again, where that's happening is going to depend on your chart and where Gemini is. Alright. So we've got the Empress card. So Empress card also ruled by Venus, so it's kind of like we got the Venus card again. But creative energy, life, creation, abundance. So another card that speaks to that creative force that we've kind of been surrounded by. And again, you could even link that to the Alchemist, not necessarily in status, but in this kind of master. Because the Empress, although she, may not be the king, she is definitely royal and definitely taking care of her kingdom, but in a creative, nurturing way. She's still providing for her people. This guy is providing for his future. These kings are providing for the kingdom. And then we also have, I totally forgot what it was. It was a prince, wasn't it? Yes. Then we have the Prince of Swords, or Knight of Swords. Oh, this deck calls it a prince. Mercury retrograde, get into me. But Prince of Swords here. So this is putting action behind your thoughts. So it's chasing ideas. It's studying intensely and it's seeking knowledge, which definitely is going to be coming with these conversations. But this is actively going after some belief or some ideology. So again, that plan that we're making, we are going to be actively putting energy into it. That's the thing with the princes or the knights. They are action. They are chasing something. So this particular prince is chasing ideas, beliefs, thoughts, ideas yet made manifest. But the key is that it's active. No, not taking you. What was that? Oh. Hello. So here we are talking about the full moon. Here comes the moon. So moon usually has to do with secrets. I feel like in this particular reading, especially considering what we've been talking about, the thing I notice in this card right now is illumination. So especially in this picture, that you can see how the sun is sitting behind the moon. You can see its rays kind of poking out from behind. So I think in this reading, this card is really speaking to illumination and getting understanding. And I feel like because it's the moon and not the sun, this illumination is maybe not coming at us full strength. We're not like getting 0 to 100. Maybe we're getting like a softer illumination in a way that we can kind of understand and build upon. I say that because I always think of this card, especially when I kind of get this illumination meaning from it. Moonlight is actually reflected sunlight. And think of sunlight like when you are inside and walk outside for the first time, and maybe it's like midday already and the sun is super bright, you have to put sunglasses on. Moonlight is much softer. It's not as intense, as sunlight. So if you took the light and, defined it as truth, sunlight can be a really harsh truth and just kind of hit you in the face with it. Whereas moonlight, it's a softer truth. It's delivered in a way that's a little easier to absorb and process. So this illumination, I think, is going to be delivered in a way that we can kind of take in and begin to understand something and begin to find the knowledge and insight we need to take it to the next level, to take ourselves to the next level. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Cups. So, definitely some things we want to be working on. Actually, if I just keep going, then we've got the 8 of Swords, which again kind of speaks to being mentally bound, because there really is no barrier. This woman could walk out of her little prison, quite easily. She just walks straight forward and she's free. So there really is no obstacle. It's just a perceived obstacle. So I think there's whatever the 10 of Cups looks like for you. Here it's a family, picket fence, all that. But it's whatever your like ideal fairy tale ending looks like. Your belief to getting here, for some reason you think isn't possible. There's something that's stopping you. You don't have the job that makes the money. You haven't met your soulmate. You want 6 pets, you've only got 1. Like, whatever that fantasy is. For some reason there's a perceived block, whatever it is. And then you even have the 4 Pentacles, which to me isn't necessarily a negative card, but it does have this kind of like miserly kind of, since it's holidays, kind of Scroogey type of feeling, because like this man has, he's maybe not a king, but he definitely has like this big city, maybe he's mayor or something that he's like governing and responsible for. But you can see him kind of hoarding his coins, like he's like standing on 2 of them, he's hugging another one, like he's keeping them very close, as if he doesn't have the resources. He's like, oh no, I must keep it for myself. Which that also can be a block, thinking that there's not enough abundance to go around, when there's enough abundance for everyone. Like, there's no limit to it. You also have the 9 of Wands, which can be another block. Usually it's being stubborn. So I feel like you're hanging on to this concept, this idea that I can't, or it's not possible. You're taking a real firm stance on it, and it's probably, because that's the example that's been set in the past. That's what society has made you believe, or You know, I can't do that until I do this. All these kind of things. But again, that's not the case. Here we have the star, which is all about hope and optimism and belief. So again, if you believe in this, this is what you will have. And there's now support coming in to help you understand how to get here. I feel like these conversations also help to destroy this and like help you realize there is no block. There is no barrier. Like even if we look at the Nine of Wands, there's another, you know, the wands behind this, you know, bruised warrior make another barrier. These swords around her make a barrier. This dude is standing on like a wall, which is another barrier. So I feel like there's these thoughts and perceived blocks that really aren't blocks at all. Like they're not a real thing. But we just think they are. I feel like these conversations help us to understand that whatever it is we want, whatever it is we're dreaming of, that future that we long to be living, it's possible. It is possible. I think that's wonderful. I was going to cut it off here, but I think just because I might make this one a slightly longer video than normal. Reach across the table. I just think because there's so much going on, like I feel like I just want to get as many messages as we can. I'm probably just gonna pull one. I know, we'll see what happens. This is the Oracle of what is this? Oracle of the Angels? Yeah, Oracle of the Angels deck. I feel like I want to get at least one message from here. Just because this is such... I think this is going to be such a catalyst moment. I'll take you. We're kind of like jumping around in there for a bit. Oh, way too much. We'll take you. That was fun. Did you see that? I don't know if that caught on camera, but it just kind of like kept coming out. Let's do... You know, we did 4. Okay, we'll do 5. 5, why not? Alright, what did we get? Oh, like that, like that. Beautiful. Alright. I will take these. So first one out was Letting Go, which I think is just connected to the full moon in general. Full moons are always a great time to release negative thoughts, things that aren't serving you. Ooh, excuse me. You know, old patterns, old belief systems, things that we've outgrown. It's just time to release them and let them go. And then we have these amazing, actually I'm going to lump these 3 together. We'll save those for last because they're wonderful. And then we have receptivity. This makes me think of the beginning of this reading and this Gemini energy of connecting and having fun and you know, kind of being a little playful and connecting with people and getting chatty and having all these conversations. I think this is, because I will say one thing about Geminis, although they are wonderful, friendly, chatty energies, they don't always make the best listeners. They would rather talk than listen. So I think this receptivity is just a friendly reminder that, hey, this is a communication. Someone is giving you some really good information. You should probably remember this and really listen to them and absorb it. I feel like this is just keeping yourself open to these messages and these signs that will be coming. It's funny, we were talking all this astrology, and this particular card has all these planets. So it could also be a receptivity just to the universe, because there's all this, you know, good juju coming to us from it. And then we have these 3 wonderful cards, which I think are kind of a mix. It's a mix of how to manifest during this season. It's also a mix of what is coming to us. So you have positive intention, which we were just talking about. So I think we are gaining a much more positive outlook, a much higher vibration, if you will. But this belief that we truly can have what it is we want. And also once we go through that planning stage, thanks to Sagittarius, we figure out what it is we want, and we do it with the best intentions and our truest desires in mind, not just like, I want to raise, it'd be great if I had 50 cents. No, do the raise that you deserve. Like if you deserve, you know, $3, $5, whatever it is, that's what you hang on to. Don't settle just because you're like, oh, I'll just take a quarter. It's fine. So health, I think there's definitely some well-being that will be coming to us. Maybe we get back into the gym. Who knows? Maybe we just start living more actively. We take, better care of ourselves. Maybe we eat better. Maybe, we've been dealing with something and then doctor's going to give us, good bill of health at our next checkup. Something about health is going to be improving, which I think is beautiful. And maybe it's not even physical. It could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be spiritual. Who knows? And then this wonderful, lovely fulfillment. This, I think, is most exciting. I feel like this is the ultimate reward of this season, is fulfillment. Because essentially we've let go of, stale, stagnant energy. We're open and receiving all of these messages from others and from the universe, keeping our intentions high and picturing what the ideal outcome is. And from there, we become stronger on multiple levels. And then ultimately receive the fulfillment we're looking for. I mean, I think it's a beautiful message. Like, absolutely beautiful. Oh, I just had a little speechless moment. But I think today is going to be the start of many beautiful things for the rest of the year. I think it's just going to get better from here, which is wonderful. Again, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I am so thankful for you and the opportunity I have on this channel to share and connect and communicate with you. I think it's truly beautiful, and I look forward to it every single day. I am so grateful for each and every one of you that likes, comments, subscribes. If we work together or see each other and you share what the message that day meant to you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. I look forward to see how this channel grows and how we connect in different ways and different levels. Again, if there's anything you want me to talk about or want, certain content in these videos that you haven't seen yet, please let me know. Either, contact me by any of my information, leave a comment below. I love to hear from you. So thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Truly celebrate and revel in the energy. And just enjoy it. Have fun today and through the rest of this weekend. Just enjoy every second of it, because it's all meant for you. Alright, love you guys. Have a good one.